Well, good morning, everyone. This might be a familiar scene for those of you who have watched these brief videos from time to time. Sitting in the parking lot of Starbucks in Bellingham, Washington. We got back from New York last night, and so I'm a little late this morning getting the podcast out, but had a late night arriving in late, so overslept a little bit. At any rate, let's get, and I'll talk more about our trip to New York later. It was just too fantastic, and I'm so thankful to the Lord for my sons who gave me a memory that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. Wonderful, wonderful time. Our reading today is in Ezra chapter 1, Psalm 84 and 85, and Luke chapter 7. And the verse that I want us to think about and look at is from Psalm 85. It's a little longer passage today, but oh my, is it rich. Psalm 85 verses 4 through 8. Restore us, O God of our salvation, and cause your anger toward us to cease. Will you be angry with us forever? Will you prolong your anger to all generations? Will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your mercy, Lord, and grant us your salvation. I will hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people and to his saints, but let them not turn back to folly. The psalmist asks questions here and makes a plea for mercy. One relates to the anger of the Lord, another to it comes in the form of a plea for revival, and then that's followed by a prayer for mercy and salvation. And then he waits for the Lord to give his answer to his situation. The questions that the psalmist asks are, they're not asking doubt, but out of a brokenness because of the sins of the people. Big truck going by. Because of the sins of the people and the recognition that the fact that they are God's people, and that there are promises, many promises, that are unbreakable from God. And on the basis of those promises, he pleads for mercy, for salvation, for the people, and even for himself. And I just love the fact that having asked those questions, he waits in hope for God's response to the questions. He's confident that the Lord will answer, and in the rest of the psalm, he expresses that confidence. That confidence is based on his knowledge of who the Lord is and of the Lord's faithfulness. Oh, I love that, because that should give each and every one of us that same confidence, that we can trust the Lord, that his promises are yea and amen. Trustworthy are the promises of the Lord. And then I think of that, and I think it should give each and every one of us as God's children that same confidence. Then comes a strong warning based on Israel's history, which is up and down. Don't turn back, warning them to not turn back to those previous things of foolishness and folly that they fell into. In other words, don't repeat the cycle that they've walked in for centuries. Their history is a downward spiral that consisted of going astray and then revival, and going astray and revival, and the deliverance then that came from the Lord. So they became complacent, and eventually they backslid into follies, into sin and idolatry, which is foolishness. So as I think about that this morning, this is a warning to all of us who are prone to get maybe a little lazy or slack, complacent in our walk with the Lord. Listen, dear ones, sin is sin, and God is not pleased when we walk in it. He will discipline, but his love and his mercy have not abated. Were it not for that, we would all be consumed. So praise God this morning for his faithfulness and his mercy, his love to us. And I'm so thankful to have had the experience that I've had this last week with my sons. More thankful today than ever for the goodness of God, for his mercy that endures forever, that he cares for us and watches over us. So I pray the Lord will richly bless you today. Our travels are going to take us back home. We'll be home tomorrow, back in Billings, and we'll be continuing on with Good Seeds and Friday night study from there. So thanks for the opportunity to share today, and Lord bless you richly, I pray. Amen.